Didn't smoke for 2 days while I was sleeping, but I think it's the end. I started smoking at the age of 27. I hated smoking and hated the smell of cigarettes before 2017, 18. And because of some problems, not problems, some story, I started individually smoking. I don't smoke. I just, in French we say crapoter, means I don't inhale. I just, anyway, it helped me with solitude and writing and this kind of stuff. But I'm not a fan of smoking, to be honest. Science or art? Or both? 2015, I had a great friend, like a brother, Juan Manuel Axobi, from Buenos Aires, Argentina. And I met him in 2014 in Los Angeles, and we were good brothers for 2 years. I don't know what the heck happened to him. I think he's in New York right now. Hey man, I hope you're doing well. And he just wanted to stop me from doing stupid stuff, and he was, according to himself, he was taking care of me like a brother. Thanks for all, man, Juan. And we have very good memories, and he just wanted to stop me from becoming Marlon Brando. Not becoming, just like, I was passionate about art and acting and this kind of things. And he was reading to me quotes from Brando that I wasted my life, because Brando thought that acting is not for adults. It's a weird job for adults, and it's based on impulsive behavior. Like, it's an impulse that you get and you act. And he, to the extent that I know, he didn't memorize all of his lines. He just had small notes and he improvised sometimes. And he had his own way of acting. It was method acting or whatever, I don't know. I don't believe in technique in acting. It's just like a natural sentiment that you get and you go and act. And studying acting is just a stupid thing to do. Sorry. And I was coming from Sacramento, the capital, the center of California. I went to ski, snowboard with my friends in Christmas 2015, I think, or 14. Christmas December 2014 with my friends. And I separated from them in Lake Tahoe after going snowboarding. And I took a taxi, not a taxi, it was like a Uber between cities. And we were 4 people. We were in a car jamming or something like that. I don't remember the name. And we were coming from Sacramento to LA. She dropped everyone, and she was a driver. There was a woman, I just met her at Sacramento. She picked me up and we went to LA. At the end of the road, she was the radio was on, and there was one of the ex-girlfriends of Brando. She was from Latina origin, and she was giving a message to the women of the world that women, you're not alone. Brando, when he was alive, he made women feel not alone, and it was a great compliment. And some of the other ex-girlfriends of Brando's, they were talking against him because of his behavior, but it's hard to judge. And also the water scene with Bertolucci and Last Tango in Paris and Maria Schneider and the 18 years old girl. They used water without telling her. That it's just a matter of law and regulations. Whether it was a rape or it was inappropriate for sure. It shouldn't have been done, but was it rape or not? I don't know. Probably it was. It's just not. I don't know. Anyway, Bertolucci said he wanted to humiliate her in the scene because he thought that art, I, he implied that art is more important than humanity, and he was wrong. And I used to pick up women, American writers in female American writers in the Shakespeare and Company in Quartier Latin in Paris in 2018-19. There was gatherings for writing, and in the first floor, not the rez-de-chaussée, in the first floor of the near the piano, room of piano in Shakespeare and Company. There was gathering for writing and reading books and poems and this kind of stuff. And I picked up women with this quote of Brando: "What's life but a lie?" And it worked. And the best scene of Brando, that in my opinion, best scene and one of the greatest scenes in the history of cinema, is Quemada by Pontecorvo, with the music of Ennio Morricone, Maestro Ennio Morricone. There's a scene that he looks down and he looks up, it's night, and his eyes and the face is just most beautiful than any natural scene that you can see. I say that as a heterosexual man, but I put the picture, I took a screenshot and I put it on the playlist of my films that I made. And he didn't take acting seriously, Brando, anyway. But I want to say, this is a very great example of, logic and emotion and science and art, because Brando was one of the greatest actors ever lived, probably, and he knew what emotion and art is. He was an artist, but he was way more interested in science and CGI, computer graphic images and imagery and visual effects and the politics and history and Francis Ford Coppola said he was a brilliant man. He was interested in so many stuff. Coppola said that about Brando, and not only he was very creative, but he didn't take acting too seriously. He was interested in more serious stuff. Germans think music, composition music is not a serious job, probably. Mechanical engineering is a real job, or electrical engineering. I'm saying this based on empirical induction, not, I don't know the opinion of all Germans. But also, in parenthesis, I can say that I wrote an article and criticized just independently. No one pushed me to do that. The Seventh Symphony, Allegretto, second movement of Beethoven, Ludwig van Beethoven. The beginning is a genius, it's masterpiece. And London Orchestra played this, and it's on YouTube. And from the moment, the third minute, 16 seconds, till 4 minute, 13 seconds, it goes off. And I wrote a criticism about the arrangements and composition of Beethoven, and I said this to so many artists, composers, guitar players. They told me, yeah, if you tell Germans about this, they're gonna hang you, they're gonna execute you. Especially the classical musical players, the musicians who play classic music in Germany, and they're Germans. If you criticize, if they understand, if they hear that you criticize severely one of the symphonies of Beethoven, they're gonna probably kill you, as a joke, but maybe seriously, I don't know. Anyway, so I listened more than the political views and historical views about Brando was amazing. He stood for underdog and for victims in this world. He had a great heart, but maybe sometimes he went crazy and the water scene in the Last Tango in Paris is not his acting in Godfather 2 was amazing, and his acting on the waterfront or a Streetcar Named Desire is by Elia Kazan. This kind of thing, it was too severe for my taste. But and also Orson Welles said about Elia Kazan, he's a traitor. He was anti-communist, Elia Kazan, and he reported all of his comrades to the movements of McCarthyism, anti-communist movement that kicked out Charlie Chaplin out of U.S. only because of being communist, not being just accused of being a communist. That's against the law in U.S. because there's nothing wrong with being a communist in U.S. law. So yeah, in Godfather Part 1, not 2, Part 1, Brando was amazing and genius. And in Don Juan DeMarco, he was a little bit fat, but he was amazing still. There's a scene that Johnny Depp, Don Juan DeMarco, says as a mental patient, says to, I saw this when I was 15, to Brando, what's worth living for, what's worth dying for, and what's sacred, and what soul is made of. The answer, all of them is only one, and that's love. And the eyes of Brando, wow, man. The guy had a soul. He has a movie with Robert De Niro when he was fat. I don't remember the name of the movie. It was not interesting. And yeah, I didn't see it completely. With Pacino, he just had Godfather Part 1. And Pacino was not that... Yeah, forget about it. Already talked about it. And what else? I think I go back to the speech of Hawking. Hawking said that I understood the universe and black holes and these kind of things, but I couldn't find out what women are about, how they think and these kind of things, what women want. By the way, there's a movie by Mel Gibson, What Women Want, when he can read the an electricity, when he's in bath, electricity hits him and he becomes different, and he can understand the mentality of women. It's a beautiful movie, entertaining, and not a masterpiece, but it's entertaining. And he can read the mentality of women, and I think the name of the movie is What Women Want. And the female protagonist, which is I don't know, a fashion designer or something like that. I don't remember. It's the same person who played with Jack Nicholson, who got an Oscar for his role in 1998, I think. Jack Nicholson plays... I forgot the name of the movie. Gotta Go With It? No. That's Jennifer Aniston and Adam Sandler. That's another movie, bullshit movie. Sorry. It's Jack Nicholson with blonde girl, and Jack Nicholson has OCD. He's a great writer, and there's a great line in that movie. It's like, he wants to compliment her, this person, and he tells her that you want to make me to be a better man. That was a great compliment, and he got an Oscar for that. The protagonist, the first leading role, 1998, 7, something like that, and the same woman plays against Mel Gibson in What Women Want. So What Women Want, I don't know. I understand women, but I don't understand what they exactly want. And it's definitely not love, because ideology in women prevails over love. The subconscious of women is in harmony with ideology and protecting their society, and spreading emotion and propagating emotion in a society to protect their society, rather than like in loving a man and sacrificing themselves for a man. That's not the case. Loving is not a case nowadays, maybe for the past 50, 40 years. The role of the woman changed in a society, has been changed. So what it has to do with science and art, I think science and art and emotional logic, they feed themselves. They protect themselves. And we didn't have, except Leonardo da Vinci, comment on va dire en français? Da Vinci, in Italian is Da Vinci, Leonardo da Vinci. But in French is it Da Vinci, je sais pas, Leonardo da Vinci, it doesn't matter. It's an Italian name. So Leonardo da Vinci. After him, that he was a great artist, very creative, emotional, and beside that, he was a great creative designer, like he designed bridges, very creatively. He designed helicopter. He designed so many other stuff that I don't know of. But he was doing both science and art. But he's more famous for being a scientist, but for being an artist, not a scientist. I still don't understand what Mona Lisa is about. It's like, it's beautiful. It's a impressive piece of art, but I don't understand why it's so famous. I don't understand. Anyway, the last thing that I want to talk about is science and arts. Okay, science, emotion, and logic. I want to say that I see a woman for the first time. I think it's Crime and Punishment. Theodore Dostoevsky says that lovers, they understand each other, they know each other, they recognize each other in the first impression. I think it's in Crime and Punishment, I'm not sure, but I'm Professor Sami, Majid Sami, from the Brain Institute of Hamburg or Frankfurt, I don't know, Stuttgart. There's a city in Germany. He's famous in Germany for being a brain surgeon. He says that we don't still understand how love works. For example, when I see a woman and I feel love for her, it's a love at first sight. It's called a coup de foudre in French, we say. And we don't understand what's going on in the brain exactly, because I don't know, maybe there's electromagnetic waves in brain, very low energy or low. I don't know. We don't understand. So the thing that we need to say, and it's an agnostic point of view. We don't know what's going on. So there's emotion involved, and you want to analyze that emotion with logic and science, but we don't have the science for that. Still we don't have it, because we can't analyze emotion. There's no even a consensual definition for emotion after 2,000 years. Emotion is that something that puts you in motion. No, not really. No, it comes from subconscious. What is subconscious scientifically exactly? Neurons, neurology, psychology, did we get to the end of the case, the subject, that what's going on in the brain exactly when you fall in love, or why do you feel in a certain way for someone when you're 2 meters away from her? We don't know. So the best thing is being agnostic, still being curious about it, searching for it, and doing trial and error. That's a great spirit to have. But the problem that we have right nowadays that kills emotion is is being egotistical. The guy has a PhD from MIT, he thinks he's a king of the world. That kills emotion. Anyway, doesn't matter. What else? Thanks, man. I tried to contact you, Juan Manuel Aksobi, the great Argentinian guy, a great dude and great engineer, and he loves robotics, math, aerospace engineering, and computer programming. And he was working in New York and San Francisco and LA and different cities in the US. And wherever you are, man, be happy. Take care.